Well, as we mentioned before, we'd be back at Garage Mahal while we're self-isolating and everything. Garage Mahal is, of course, our fun place to go work on projects.
And generally just have a good time.
Yeah, screw around. Anyway, we have these display cases that we bought to hang up at Garage Mahal to put train models in and other models. This is a case by Display Gifts, and it's designed for holding HO scale trains. But I wanted a different style of case for over here, something tall and narrow, and they make this case. It's the same company, Display Gifts, and but this one's supposed to be for shot glasses. 144 shot glasses, not trains at all. But it works out fine for HO scale trains, and in fact every other shelf is removable, and I think that would allow you to fit O scale trains in here. Not sure on that, haven't tried it. It would sort of depend on the depth, because the shelves are about 2 inches deep, and that may or may not hold an O scale. So here's this display case. Now you can find it on both Amazon and on eBay. Surprisingly, for some reason or another, it's the seller who has it on eBay has it for $10 less. So we bought ours from eBay instead of Amazon. Now, as I mentioned before, it's not actually a train display case. It's supposed to be for shot glasses, and they make a couple of different cases for displaying shot glasses. But the one that says it's for 144 shot glasses works out great for trains. Well, while we're socially isolated, we thought, you know, if one is good, two is always better, right?
That's right.
So we bought another one, frankly, because the cases are filling up, and then we've got all of those HON3 models that we showed you, and well, they need a place to live, so we thought we'd buy another one of those shot glass display cases, and so here it is. It just arrived from eBay, and it's all nicely packaged. It's from Fragile, Italy. Oh, if you've seen that movie, you get the joke. Anyway, so we unboxed the display case. Boy, is the packaging nice in here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that foam could be repurposed on the layout.
Boy, I tell you what, it's that really dense foam rubber stuff, and boy, does it do a good job of protecting the case. That is some of the best packaging.
I think for the price, it's really well made.
I think so. The woodwork and everything is just first class. And we've actually now got 4 of these cases from Display Gifts, and every one of them is really first class. So this is what it looks like once you get it out of the carton. It still has protective layers here. It's got that stick-on paper adhesive stuff to protect the acrylic. It's not glass, it's an acrylic window in the case. Now it also has all of the hanging hardware that you're going to need to put it up, but after putting the other one up, I found that I didn't really care that much for the hanging hardware, and I rethought the whole thing and did it differently. Those little tabs have to slide up under these little loops here, and if they're the slightest bit off, then the whole thing won't hang up. Moreover, I think these little brass loops are a little bit flimsy looking, and once I got the other case in place, well, I just wasn't happy with that at all. So what I did is I actually ran grabber screws through the back plate and bolted it to the wall that way, because trying to put these little tabs through those loops is just really challenging, and at the end of the day, I don't think all that strong. And I don't think they think it's that strong either, because they want you to reinforce it with shelf brackets below the case, and it does come with those shelf brackets. But again, my fix on all of this was to simply take the door off so that it's much easier to get to the inside, and then we ran grabber screws through the back plate right into the wall studs.
I think that's a much more secure system.
Well, I feel comfortable putting brass engines in there now. And before, I sure didn't. So here's the grabber screws that we used. They're nice long grabber screws so that they get a really good bite on the wood studs. And then, of course, you have to figure out where the studs are. In this case, I missed one. But eventually, I managed to get the holes and get 4 grabber screws through the back plate right into the wall studs. And that thing is really up there now. It can ride out another earthquake.
Oh, let's hope.
Let's hope not on the earthquake, but the case, yeah, let's hope it'll stay. And of course, we wanted to make sure it's nice and level and pretty easy to hang up.
And with that door removed and every other shelf also removed, it was easier to wrangle it into position.
Now you can see the heads of the screws here, but Karen was thinking of putting a new back felt on that in a different color, and that will cover that up. Anyway, we got the door mounted back on there, and there it is now, all hanging up with the door in place.
Well, now it's just a matter of getting that film off from there.
Yeah, it comes off pretty easily. The instructions say if you're having trouble, you can use a hairdryer, but realistically, you can just peel it away, and ta-da! There it is, the display case. And again, this is with every other shelf taken out. And that allows you to see how you might be able to fit O-scale trains in here. It depends how wide they are, because the depth on these shelves is about a little over 2 inches. So some O-scale stuff would fit in there with every other shelf out. Of course, we're putting HO in there, in fact HON3 for the most part, so we're putting all the shelves back in. And there it is, and that gives you 12 shelves. So boy, this thing will hold a lot of trains.
I really like the looks of this. The oak color looks really nice with the wall color. I think I want to replace that felt with a green color. I think it would show up the color of the brass engines better.
Yeah, so we're going to just go ahead and stick one of these old brass engines in there just to see how it looks. But with the dark background, I'm afraid it's going to tend to disappear a bit. Anyway, here we go, a quick test to see what it looks like with an unpainted brass engine in there. Now I want to show you how the door closes here. It latches quite tightly with these 2 brass latches.
Case closed.
And it does such a good job of keeping the door closed, I'm sure the brass engines can ride out another earthquake when another one comes along like we just had. Anyway, one case over here, and now, ta-da, a brand new one over here. And they'll give us plenty of storage, which we need. Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, do pop on over to the channel. And if you're not a subscriber, here comes the blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet, and we sure as heck hope you didn't find it boring. And we will see you here on Sunday as we do some Sunday kind of stuff. See you then. Bye-bye.